All right. Welcome everyone. We are live. Thank you so much for joining. And today we are going to take off kind of where we left off yesterday, and that was we kind of tentatively finalized our content, and we're going to now get down to pen and paper again, and actually I have some other paper. Anyways, we'll get to that in a second, and start doing the wireframing. We want to lay out every single page of the website and have a really good idea of how everything is going to flow on the website. Now there are 6 pages that we developed or that we need to build, and I think from there we also need 2 other internal pages templates, because number 1, there's the journal section, which is going to have multiple different pages, but they're all going to have the exact same layout for every different post that gets published. And then the second one is the work page, where we're going to have every, portfolio item or work that we've done. So every client that we're going to feature, they're going to have a page that, again, it's going to be very similar in layout. So we're going to design those pages. So there's 8 pages, and we're going to get to it. So just a quick recap here. I'm going to see if I can bring up the content. So here's where we were yesterday. Let's blow this up a bit. So here are our pages, and we'll kind of maybe keep this as open as a reference as we're laying out the wireframe here. So here are pages. Yeah, so we have home page. The home page, of course, is the most important page. And work, services, process, journal, and then contact. Yep, so that's where we left off yesterday. I'm going to leave this open, and now we're going to get to here where we had, here's work that we started on, doing some of these layouts here. But now what we're going to do is I actually have some paper here that we're going to use this to kind of lay things out a little bit more on a bigger piece of paper, I guess you can say. And yeah, let's just be a lot better. Oh, this is fancy stuff. I wonder. And I'm hoping this is 160 grams per meter squared. So I hope it's a little bit thicker kind of paper stock. Oh yeah, nice. It's like, it's really thick cardstock. Oh wow. Nice. Okay. And I think my kids went in here and took all my drawing stuff, my pencils, specifically my sharpener. I should have got that before we started here. So are we going to want to use markers for this? HB. Where's my 3B? Yeah, there's my favorite. 0.3. Ugh, what a mess. No pencil sharpener. Okay, that's not good. Well, that sucks. We don't have a pencil sharpener here. And we don't have an eraser. Dang it. Okay, I'm going to run real quick to my kids' room, see if I can grab a pencil. Be right back. Okay, I said pencil when I left, but I meant eraser and sharpener. All right. I don't want to use a 2B. Okay. Move you out of the way. Okay, so the idea here is just I want to take this page and just pretend this page is, you know, what you see on the website, on a website. Kind of like this is like a monitor, right? Okay, so we're gonna have still just boxing things out here. No need to get too technical in any details here at this point. You know, like writing anything out. This is just laying out the elements. There's the logo. Hopefully, how's that coming up? It's not too bad. I'll make it a little darker. I'm gonna go over it with pen later on. Okay. So we have our hero section. I would want this all to fit on 3 lines max. If there's anything more, then it's just too much. Then it looks like, or it seems like it's, I don't know. It'd just be too distracting. You don't want to feel like they need to read like a whole paragraph. All right, so, and then just below. Whoop. I'm gonna play some music here. Where's my cursor? Let's turn that down. I'm not sure how loud that is for you guys. Hopefully it's not too loud. Okay. Okay. So I think here, these are, you know, the brands that we've worked with. These are, so this is just logos. Logos down here. We're not going to have room on this page at all. All right. If you're watching this and you're working along with me, nice to have you here, and keep it up. Wishing you all the success. Keep working, keep plugging away. I know you'll get there. That's what we're all doing here. Okay, so this here is the dynamic image of a client. And I know the one that I'm going to feature. And I think the animation is going to, I'm just going to jot this down because I just had it in my head. I know there's these 3 pillars, and then swipe, and then logo. And then we have the 3 different things or services. I had one of those little clicky erasers. The kids used all the eraser. So I need to get refills. So these are the 3 different services, right? So for this one, it is web design, visual identity, and brand strategy. Okay. I wonder if it'll make sense, but try to maybe make it thinner so I could make it longer, like try to fit more content here. So just make things a little bit smaller. But I like this here so I can get a good overview of kind of like a larger size, which almost looks like what it would look like. You can't see this, but if you post it up against a screen like this, I can compare it and get an idea of the proportions and how things are going to look. Okay. And then we want to get, I'm just going to continue on to this, the next side here. This won't be in as big of text, but it might be styled differently. So we have no, that's looks a little bit smaller. I don't know if we're gonna put periods or not. Anyways, so yeah, we have the your brand speaks to who you are. Yeah, brand speaks to who you are. And then there's just text. Your brand speaks to who you are, whatever. So this is kind of big and bold. And logos, learn more. So that's the call to action here. Logos. So how do we differentiate this section? Next here is from the journal. And we have this here too. So do we need a title? This one doesn't have a title like featured work, right? You almost want to like the work speak for itself. So then here, what could we do for a design for showcasing a blog post? What I'm trying to get at is, do we do something, you know, here's the image. I've done this before quite a few times. I like it, but I don't want to overuse it. It's where you basically take the title, you put it in some block like this, you know, and it covers over the image. And then, you know, whatever this is. Five reasons why, you know, branding rocks. This proportion here is totally off in terms of the font size, but I think you get the point. And then do that again. So do we want to have that kind of, I'm not going to say that's this style is overused, where you know, everything's kind of like a little bit more square centric. Is that even a word? So I was just looking at a couple sites that get a little bit of inspiration from. A few things and ideas that I bookmarked. I'm not sure I like this. Again, the idea here is simplicity. This is the title. Yeah, I like this. And your title is kind of center aligned to these elements here. And then just this here. No, I don't want to mark it, but it's the same as this. Same font, same size, everything. It's like a call to action. So it's similar, right? So you kind of get used to, oh, there's an arrow here telling me to go there for more. So this looks a little dark to me. So sorry, guys. I think I need to figure out what to do with, with the rest of this office here. If you notice, it actually, the whole kind of my backdrop changed even from last week, as I'm trying to figure out what the best way to kind of get this whole office sorted out and cameras and everything. And I got two cameras. I got the forward one and this one here. And this, I'm super excited about this actually. So I got this bad boy right here. Got this yesterday. And I actually got it before I did even live streamed yesterday. This is the new-ish, I guess it can't, I don't even want to come out a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Sony A7 IV. So does it say 4 somewhere on there? Here. Ah, there it is. Little 4. Anyways, so this is another camera that I'm going to be using to do these live streams, but also some other videos that I have in store for the future. So I'm really looking forward to that. So these live streams are great, but I also love doing other types of videos, you know, where you just pre-record or whatever, write scripts and all that kind of stuff. So looking forward to doing that in the near future. So probably around the whole theme of business and trying to build business and money and finances and all that kind of fun stuff. Stuff that I love and stuff that I don't know. I think it's more important for people to really start thinking about this and how they can, put some real value out into the world and provide good service for people, and then, be rewarded for that as well. Excuse me, sorry. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Sorry about that. All right. Oh, enough trailing off. Getting back to the wireframe here. I like this. This is gonna look really nice. Your brand speaks to who you are. There's some cool news. And what's after this? Oh, like that's it. A call to action. So what's that going to look like? Okay, so this is the big thing where it's like, let's chat or whatever. It's going to be linked to the contact us page. So how can we do this in a way that's creative? Is it just... I think I wrote your brand speaks to who you are. Oh, so right here, there's also, actually, I guess it's just going to be a link. It says, are you ready to unlock the potential of your brand? ? Get in touch with us. We can't wait to hear about your business. So there's going to be a link, get in touch with us right there. So it's not going to quite look like this, but it'll still be a link. Should it have an arrow? Nah, because it's going to be within the actual content. So it's going to look the same. Okay, so if we have that here, how can this call? I mean, I'm kind of thinking of like just the biggest button you'd ever seen. Ready to get started. Yeah, but how do we make it look? So, I mean, these are going to be square images. This is going to be a big square image. Animated. And if we have more than one, well, they'll just get stacked. Or they might be smaller ones. Have one super featured and two smaller ones. Just so it doesn't scroll. You don't have to scroll too much. Almost like, I don't think I want to get into this kind of stuff. Oh man, this looks like a fish. I gotta be careful. This doesn't look like something else. This is like a rocket ship. Ready to launch, ready to take off. Well, let's talk. No, that doesn't fit. Let me just check. I did something before on this. Let's see what I wrote down. Hmm. Ready to start your next project. Let's chat. Hmm. That's not bad. Something like, one second. Let me just. Hmm. I don't see if we put, ready to start your project question mark and then contact us, or let's talk. Some you don't want to stop people from contacting us if they're not ready to start their project, right? Like if they just want to get some, feel the waters, right? You don't want to say like, oh well, only come talk to us if you're ready. So how can we say that in a way that makes it so that it's not like maybe saying only talk to us if you're ready to get started. Learn about our process. Yeah, fall in love. So that's the first one of contact. And there's going to be another one here. Or could it just be, is it something like, let's have a chat? Maybe just like, let's talk. And then a little bit of a blurb here that says, let's go here actually. Oh. So we start with let's talk. And what could we say? I don't know if this is too cheesy. If I'm saying something like, what I'm going here is, oh, let's, I love hearing about new business, and let's, get together and see what we can do. I don't know. Nah. I love hearing and about business. So it's almost like, we'll talk business with anybody any day of the week. So get in touch with us. No strings attached. Let's just have a conversation. It's like, let's have a conversation. Like no strings attached, right? Even if you aren't sure what you might need, we love hearing and talking. We love talking business. I say we love talking business. So even if you're unsure what you need, we'd still love to hear from you. So let's have a conversation. No sales pitches. No strings attached. Okay, we love talking to people and learning about business. Is that even too much? Just we love talking to people, and even if you aren't sure what you need, we'd still love to hear from you. Use that twice. We love talking to people, and even if you aren't sure what you need, we'd still love to hear from you. So let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. No sales pitches and no strings attached. And then it's get in touch. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Gavin, if you're listening, let me know what you think. I'm sure you'll have some really great advice or thoughts on that. Okay, so I like that. So let's clean this up a little bit here. Let's talk, right? Why not? You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Oh, that's not centered nicely. Ugh. That's okay. That's okay. So we have that, and then, there we go. Then the get in touch button. Spacing here is going to have to be played around with, but I think that'll be better identified when we're actually building stuff. Okay, so, and then the footer. Footer is simple. What should we do? Okay, let's, I'm loving this stock. How many pages do I have in here? 150? Nice. This is like old. Oh, does this come off? Oh, it's got this. Oh no, it's like glued on there, and this stuff is like. Oh, this is really nice quality. Okay. I love this. This makes me want to just draw all the time. Oh, okay. So. All right, let's put this aside here. And let's just look at the footer here. Okay, so what do we need on the footer? We haven't really touched on that. So let's do that now. So, well, we do have, right, so I think, yeah. So we're going to have the logo again. Then we're going to have this creed here. Building brands that inspire. This kind of goes to the why, you know, thinking about the why of what we're doing. I say we, I mean Pixel, because my goal is really to build a team here, a team of amazing people that want to do some really good work. And anyways, so our why is really all about being able to help people succeed in their mission, right? And to amplify the good work that they're doing around the world, right? Because a lot of people, a lot of people are good in a lot of different things, but not everyone's good at being able to build a brand or a website or whatever that could reach as many people as it can, right? So I need to think about how to refine that into like a really nice like mission statement, but we'll get to that at some point when we actually go about the internals and kind of thinking about why it is that we do what we do. But that's the basics of it. So I want to be able to help people be able to help people, if that makes any sense. Okay, so what are we doing here? Yeah, we are looking at the logo. I'm building brands that inspire. And we want to have the menu again. And right now, you know, that's pretty simple. We have home. We have the process. We have services. We have journal. And then we have contact. So then we also want to have, what else do we want to have? Newsletter. And then we want to have another call to action for contact. Or is that too much? Might be too much. Let's put this all in here. This is going to look a little bit strange because we're doing it at the top of the page, but this is really for the bottom. So we got the logo, and then building brands that inspire. Boom. Oh, sorry. You guys can see that. And then we have then this one here, just right aligned. That's the navigation again. Oh, so that's your home, process, blah, 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 all that jazz. And then we take it, what do we take it? We need, all right. And then newsletter. I'm not sure how we want to design that. I'm not sure also if this is, not sure anything about the colors and how that's going to look. Like whether the footer is going to be on a dark background or not. So that's the subscribe button. So, you know. Enter your email address. Here's a little bit of a title. You know, this just says you join our monthly newsletter, just whatever it is. And I don't think we have another big, like, let's chat button. We could make the last one here a big button. But I like the idea of just keeping this super simple. Super simple. Don't have to get complicated. I need to watch this back, so I don't know what the volume is like on this. I'm hoping it's not too loud. I mean, I see my volume going quite a bit louder than, you know, what the music is, but I don't know if you can hear it or if you can't even hear it. I'm not sure. What did I want to look at? Yeah. Yeah, I think that works. There's one thing too about links to social media. Maybe that should go somewhere as well too. I mean, this could be regular menu. And then there could be a social menu. You know, I'm trying to stay away from the traditional, you know, columns of a footer. Well, you know something else? This might be good. All right, new idea. And then we'll judge. So there's the logo, right? And it'd be nice maybe if it was like a, not so much of a logo, but like a logo mark. We'll have to figure out what that's going to look like. So we have something here. So this is, Jesus, that's really small. So you have pixel here. So that's the navigation. And those are social links, because it could be Twitter, YouTube, podcast if there's one. And then, I mean, this might, we'll see what this looks like, but I think this could work. And it might not be exactly look like this, like an actual square. Here's the full width, like in bigger text, where you put your email. To subscribe to the newsletter. All right. What else is missing? And then I think it's just, and here's the, build brands that inspire. It'd be nice if we had like a little logo mark or whatever, like the Nike swoosh. If we had one of those. Copyright 2023. It looks a little bit weird like this, but I think in my mind it could work. And the alternative to this, if it looks too cheesy, or this was what it could look like in a like on a mobile device, is again, you have the logo, up there, and then you have, because it's basically like pixel or like about the company, and that's in like a bigger heading, and then you have process, services, right? Journal. And then here you have social. This is actually closer together, but. And then you have Twitter, YouTube, whatever it is. So those two will line up side here, and then the email address, and then the brand. So just to add a little bit more spacing, but we'll see. We'll see what things look like when it's actually laid out with actual text. Like I'm liking what this what I think in my head it's going to look like. So I think it's going to work. It might look a little bit silly the way it's being laid out here, but I think it'll work. And it all depends on what this is going to look like. And I think just having a line and, not square, not boxing it off, because it's a little bit of a contrast to, that's not the page here, to here where you have kind of these larger square images where things are kind of blocky in a way. But this here, this contact form, if it's just the line with the email address and a button, or this might not even be a button, it just might be a subscribe with an arrow. So it just looks like, doesn't look like a traditional, like, a box. Then that could kind of open up the footer where everything else was maybe a little bit more boxy. So a little bit of a juxtaposition of a form there, I guess you could say, between the body and then the footer. Okay. That's good. Okay. So that's page 1. Yeah. That only took an hour. This is why sometimes it reminds me, oh, I remember a while ago, quoting, somebody was like, could you build a website for me? And I'm just like, oh yeah, like $2,000 or something, like pretty reasonable. And they're like, wow, why does it cost so much? I'm like this took me like an hour. Like, look how much time we spent just like writing copy, trying to just lay things out. And you haven't even gotten to writing any stinking piece of code yet. Like nothing, right? So, and even with tools now like Webflow and whatever, and it makes it, well, I mean, arguably you could say it might save you time depending on where you are at your current skill level. But, for me, Webflow it does make it a little bit faster to create something. But there's a learning curve, and how long it takes to learn how to do that. Like how much time have I spent and how many sites have I built in there to get to where I am to be a little bit faster. But even then, it's still going to take me, I don't know what we said about when we wanted to get this website done by. I think, did we say by March? Or did I say maybe in 2 weeks? Maybe that was a little optimistic. Anyways, the thing is it takes a lot of time. So if something takes you, if you charge, $2,000 for a website and it takes you like a month to do, and you're putting in like 40 hours a week, you got 160 hours. What is that? Divided by 160 hours. That's $12.50 an hour. Like, that's ridiculous, right? That's not a wage. So, anyways. And this is the thing too, is when you get better at business and you get better at doing something like, say, a website, and this is why I don't charge per hour. So you think about this way. So say there's me versus someone who's kind of just starting out for doing a website, and we just charge for a project per hour, right? So somebody contracts us out. Okay, we'll pay you, $50 an hour. Or let's just use $100 an hour just to keep our numbers straight. So somebody like me who has a lot of experience, say I do the website in, 10 hours. So that's $100 an hour. So it costs $1,000. Say somebody else who's just starting out, maybe it takes them 10 times longer, right? So it takes them 100 hours. So then they're going to charge $10,000. So, and here's what the crazy situation is. Somebody that has 20 years experience versus someone that has 2 years experience, generally speaking, you should get better value from the person that has been doing it for 20 years, right? Because obviously they're made a career out of it or whatever. So their services are, they're wanted, I guess you could say. So if you charge per hour, the person that is not as good is going to get more money. And it's like the person that, because they do good, if you charge per hour, it's almost as if you're getting punished for being really, really good. So, I can't charge $10,000 an hour because it's only going to take me 10 hours to do, and you don't want to pay me $1,000 an hour, as an example, right? So, in order to be the same as what the guy that would take 100 hours to do. And yet, so do you see how that's like a punishment for the person who's really good at their job? And that's why if you charge per hour, you're not really doing yourself a service if you're really good at something. So, yeah. So, anyways, I don't know. I don't want to start rambling off about all this kind of stuff. But it's really fascinating when you're trying to think about how to charge and how to price things. And I think we were talking about this before, a couple of days ago, about pricing and how to come up with numbers. And it's difficult because there's value and there's perceived value for what does the client think that they're getting, right? So I could definitely see a client, you throw out a number of 20 grand and they're going to be like, that is way too expensive. I could get that other guy, like we're saying, that other guy who maybe doesn't know as much and is not as good. They could do it for a quarter of the cost. Great, go with them if that's what you think is going to serve your business better. But then other people, they're going to look at that 20 grand and they're going to be like, that's like way too low. So it's like how there's a lot of psychology. There's lots of stuff that goes in around pricing. And I guess it all depends on, who you're trying to get as a client and all that kind of stuff. So stuff that I'm still learning about all this kind of stuff. It's a fascinating thing, and we'll be talking about it, I'm sure, a lot more as we move forward. But first, we need a damn website so we can get some clients. So we'll get some new clients. Well, I mean, I'm always getting new clients, but not always. I'm not drowning in clients. I think you know what I'm trying to say. Get myself out there. Okay, so we got the homepage. Let's look at the blog page. So the blog page is going to be pretty... I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. So, where did that go? Right. So, I'm definitely, I can't see what's going on. Okay. Definitely in and all about simplicity here. So again, here's our header. And then I don't know if we're going to say, what do I say? Like journal? I think it's just journal. Or wait, did we have? Let's look at the notes. And there was just a little bit of text. This is a really bad scale. So it was something, pixels to enjoy, a conscious stream of thoughts and insights from the world of branding, design, and people. So that'll go there. And yeah, we're just going to get right into it. Into the content. And I feel like going a little bit old school here and having a sidebar right here. Straighten that out. Okay. So the first one, so this one here, these ones here are center aligned on the home page. So, but this first one, I'm feeling like just for the first one, you can have the title left aligned. Because what we're going to do is after this first journal entry, you get into the other ones. And they're just going to stack. And what I mean by this is it's just going to continue down. All right, and just have the author's names. So you have the main one, the other post, and they keep going down. And what do we have here on the sidebar? So I'm thinking, this is a little bit in the future. So I'm thinking about education, right? So I definitely am thinking about creating some type of YouTube series, you know, teaching people anything that I have experience in and enough confidence enough that I think I could teach around the world of creativity. So whether that's web design, use of specific software like Webflow, although they have great stuff already out there. Things about, as I move forward here, running an agency, running a media company. I'm certainly not there yet at all, by any stretch. But I've done freelance for a long time. I've been like, geez, I don't know how many websites I've done. I mean, it's not in the hundreds, but it's quite a bit. You know, I've done, like I said, when I was talking earlier, you know, doing a website for somebody for a couple $1,000 or what have you. I've done a lot of those throughout my, I guess, I don't know if you call it a career, just throughout my life, I guess you can say. Because I've always had all kinds of different jobs. I haven't really had any kind of like career trajectory, you know, like, a doctor or a lawyer or what have you. So where am I going with this? So I think what I want to say is, yeah, so teaching more like freelance and how to deal with clients and all that kind of stuff. So that's stuff that I have experience in. Anyways, whether they're just going to be videos, you know, or at some point in time I put together the course. So I want to kind of have that here. So what is this? I think you know, whatever this ends up being. You know, knowledge center. I don't know. Almost like if you remember back in the day in blogs, they had like the sidebars where they had like advertisements. So maybe something like that. And then here you just get back to your traditional old school, navigation items. Design, development, clients, like whatever, right? Etc. etc. Something like that. Yeah. And there could be other things here as well too. I wonder if we can have like, if this makes sense to do something like this. Like the most popular things. I don't know. Love that when I go live, I get an email. You're live. It's like, yes, thank you. I guess it makes sense though, or it's to get that email if, you're not actually the one who's going live and you're setting everything up by yourself. If you're not a team of one, or someone else is managing your channel. Okay, and then this just continues on, and then it gets to the footer. And of course at the footer, I think this is like the pre-footer, if that's a thing. And then you have the actual footer. Okay, so I like this. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to another, or this page will be easy. I'll say another easy page, but not easy, but in the sense that as we've been discussing and talking about like the content and everything, always in the back of my mind is like always, and this is maybe a tip for everyone here who's learning, who wants to learn about how to build websites and things like that. Always keep in mind when you're developing your content or thinking about it, what it's going to look like when it's on screen and how you want that information to be displayed. And then how people you think are going to consume that kind of information. So I've had a lot of this stuff in mind for a few days now about how I want things to look, and which is why, for example, just doing this page, just doing this one here, kind of came pretty quickly because I've already been thinking about it for a while and I've kind of mapped it out in my head. So it's like I already know what I want to do. So, and again, maybe that comes with experience from doing so many of these that I just kind of know. I don't know. But that's what I always try to keep in mind, especially with content, is what do I want this to look like? And how do I want people to consume this content, So yeah, so that being said, here's our contact. Okay. All right. So should we say something like, let's connect? Let's, the let's chat, I think is a little bit too, what's the word I'm looking for? Formal or informal? I don't know. Let's say, well, we always say, what do we always say? We say, I think let's connect. Where is it? Oh, get in touch. Get in touch. Right. I feel like I like let's connect. Because it's not just them getting in touch, it's like us interacting together. All right? We want to be, it's like a two-way. Want it to be more of a two-way connection. Thinking of that movie, the 40-year-old version. It's all about connection, spirit, passion. Let's connect. You see this? I gotta fix this camera and its positioning so it can go a little bit higher. Okay, let's writing really slow here. Let's connect. And then we have a, blah, blah, blah text. Okay. And then we have the form. I'm just thinking if we want to put anything else here on this connect page that where they can connect with us on social media is what I'm thinking. So things like, well, I mean, we're not going to have very much to start. At some point, I'll have a Twitter. One of these days, I might sign up. And a YouTube channel, I guess. Also, is this the YouTube channel for it? I don't know. So, Twitter, YouTube, eventually a podcast. Yeah, I mean, some ideas of what I want to do in terms of talking about business. Like a phone number. Should we have a phone number? Do I want to have a company phone number? Oh, I mean, some people do like calling on the phone, but I think for the start, no. So let's just have the form. Very simple. And I'm thinking again that this will be very similar to here. So we're very similar to here in that, like I was saying, it could just be one line. No, that doesn't really show it that much better. One line, and it blends in. So here is, and this is a placeholder. So is this form really big? Yes, it is. Yes. So, right. So we talked about, I remember on the homepage where it wasn't like, hey, get in touch with us because, talk to us. It was, what do we say? Like, even if you don't know what you want, just get in touch with us. Get in touch with us because we'd love to chat, just to learn and talk. So should the question be more like, what's on your mind? Or is like, what do you think you might need help with? Or like, what may, what What do you think? No. Do we need this? Yeah, it'd be a nice identifier, maybe. So maybe it could be this. Like so. What might you need help with? And that's a drop down. And then this is a little bit larger because it'll be a text box. Tell us a bit about your project. What timeline do you have in mind? And then what's your budget? Yep. And pretty simple. Nothing too complex. All right. I think we'll do one more. Yeah, let's do one more. Because today is Friday, and it's not only just it's Friday, it's Pizza Friday. So I got to go make some pizza, and I make my pizza completely from scratch. If you've seen my videos for a while, you probably have seen some videos where I've made pizza. I've done that a few times in the past. So, yep. So Pizza Friday. So it takes about 3 hours. So we want to eat a little bit before, I don't know, 7 o'clock. So yeah. What page do we need? So what have we done so far? We've done the home page, the journal page. Let me go to my pages, and we did a contact. So we need the work, services, and process page. Let's do the work. Oh, you know what? What I didn't do. So we did do the journal page, but we didn't do the internal journal page, right? So this is what one page looks like. You know what? We'll save the internal. We'll do all the internals at one time, at once. Let's just do these 6 other pages. So we need work, services, and process to do. I think what will be good is we'll finish this work page, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll just kind of let ourselves digest what we've done and kind of think about it, and maybe sleep on it, and come back tomorrow and maybe revise and finish the other pages. So then by Monday, we can start going by thinking about going into Webflow, but also thinking about a color scheme. So I don't know if I want to get at this. So I have a logo right now, and it's just literally just a word mark. So I just kind of put it together because I needed something to slap on invoices and things like that. So I think I'm going to, I don't know if I want to spend all kinds of time trying to come up with a logo, because that's going to take like 2 weeks to develop a logo. I mean, I could do it faster than that, but you can see my process takes time. Do something, think about it, sleep on it, reiterate, all that fun stuff. I don't have $30,000 to pay me to do that. So I think we might just leave it and just stick with that, and then kind of work our brand around that, knowing full well that the look and feel will get refined as we go, because I have a very distinct look in my mind of how I want the Pixel brand to go. But I don't know right now. I don't think it's worth the time it's going to take to develop that right now, because my time is best spent now on trying to get more clients, right? And if we get a website out there that's really good, not 100% what I want in terms of my high expectations of it being, fantastic, get it good so that other people are going to think that it's great, which is what's important, and use that to get some clients, get some traction, build up a little bit of a nest egg in the bank so that I can hire someone to take some workload off. And then you start thinking about solidifying our brand. But I'm not too worried about that right now, because that's not what's important. Because there's also the thing to consider is that I'm not 100% sure exactly where things are going to land in terms of what Pixel is going to end up focusing on. Are we going to get, for the rest of the year, are we going to get 95% people just wanting websites? Are we going to get 90% of people wanting help with video production on their podcasts? Are we going to get people that are more interested in rebranding what they already have? I don't know yet. So that could play a role depending on how Pixel might end up pivoting or focusing in the future. So you don't want to spend all this time on a brand that is all about web design when it's going to end up being that we're going to be focusing more on, podcast production as an example, right? So all that being said, where are we on the work page? So the work page, should it be similar to this page? So we have, let's think about this for a second. We have our home page. This is what this looks like. Right. So this is different than the internal. I know what the internal work page is going to look like in my mind, but I haven't thought too much about the landing page of the work page. So that's where it's going to feature everyone. So we have again, at the start of all of these pages, it's going to be the same thing, same big font. What are we doing? What are we transforming? Transforming business. Of course. Just like Optimus Prime. Okay. Transforming businesses through design. What am I thinking of here? Right. This page. This page. Right. So we're going to go. It's literally going to be. Sorry, these proportions aren't right. I just want to make sure I fit everything on the page. That's the company name. These are the services that were utilized during this project. Should there be more details in this one than on here? I feel like no. Yeah, I mean, this is really straightforward, guys. This is nothing complicated. We're not doing anything too fancy. In fact, this is not fancy at all. This is super simple. So again, the name of the company, the services offered. I know some people like to use like Sketch or it's that software that Adobe bought for like 20 billion. Oh my goodness. Figma, that's it. No, people like to use that kind of stuff to lay out, even Photoshop even. Or Adobe. What's the Adobe version of Figma? Adobe XD? Is that what it's called? It's actually just called XD? I don't know. Now this is bugging me. Anyways. So some people like doing mock-ups digitally. I prefer pen and paper. And then marking things up like on a sticky pad, on a wall, like whiteboarding. I would love to paint like a wall all in whiteboard, like whiteboard chalk or paint. That would be awesome. Then I could start whiteboarding stuff all over the place. Okay, so yeah, this is super simple. I wonder, however, if we should do something a little bit more here by putting, like I was thinking like a testimonial. So I got to ask clients for testimonials, and does it make sense to put them up here? Well, I mean, this is just a basic list. Like if we put some text, I think that's going to distract, or just not distract, but I want the images that are all going to be on here to capture people's attention, and then the company, and then the services, and then that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I want more text. I don't think I want to mess up this page. Not mess up, but make it more busy than it needs to be. Yeah, let's keep it at this. Okay. So we've done the home page here. We've done, this is also the home page. We've done the work page. We've done the journal page. And we've done our contact page. And then there's just the footer. So footer, contact, there. So we have to do the services page. We have the services page, the process page, and then we have the internal journal page, which will be very simple to do, which is like my favorite. Doing like blog layouts is like my favorite thing. The internal journal page and then the internal work page. So it's like 4 pages. And these ones are arguably the most important pages. Definitely the services page, definitely the process page, because that's where people are going to go to see what chops we have, right? And then, of course, the internal journal pages is where people are going to be like reading our material and, you know, ingesting our content. And then the internal work page is where people are really going to dive in or dig into what our process is like with individual clients, because we'll lay out some of the work that we've done with the clients, and like kind of write that out. I'll probably write that off screen because that's really boring. And yeah, so it's not a, you know, I kind of left those, the ones that we started on today are more the easier ones. And then so we can kind of get a handle and feel in our mind for what things are going to look like. So as you're drawing, if you're ever doing any things like this, wireframing, don't just think about what it looks like on the page. Think about it in your mind of how it's going to look like on a website. And you also want to think about, it's very important, what it's going to look like when you transpose that to a mobile application or like into a mobile device, right? Like what is it going to look like when someone's looking at this on a phone? Because I mean, phones are everywhere, right? It's just getting, I mean, more and more websites are just only going to need to be on phones, right? So well, I don't know if we ever get to the point where it's only going to be just phones. I like my big screens. I have them all here. So the point of what I was trying to say is I kind of left those more important pages to tomorrow because, again, do some work, think about it, think about what you've done, think about what we've drawn, and also think about what it's going to look like, and then see how that's going to jive with the more complex, difficult pages where people are going to spend their most time, and that's where they're likely going to decide on whether, you know, they like you or not, and then decide whether they're going to always keep you in your back of your mind when they need a project or whatever, right? It's like, oh yeah, Pixel, yeah, they really good blog post, or yeah, you know, really like how they presented, you know, their work portfolio. Very important, right? You want to make sure that that's done as well as you possibly can. So, good place to stop. I think that's a good place to stop. So, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. And, you know, if you take a look at this stream, you know, if you're from the future, how is the future? Flying cars yet? Hoverboards? Gotta have some hoverboards, hopefully at least. And definitely some rehydrated pizza. Right, Pizza Friday. So yeah, if you are from the future, let me know what you think. Let me know if you know, like if you got this far in watching it. I guess my hope is that maybe you were just working alongside by having this playing kind of in the background. So, you know, we kind of do a little work together. So let me know how your work is going. And yeah, hopefully it's going well. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a great Friday or great whatever day it is, and we'll see you next time.